Well, it's May the 1st, so we made it through April. Time to start getting serious about the beekeeping. This is when beekeeping really starts for us here. We gotta worry about bees in the trees. We gotta worry about splitting, when to split, queens, you name it. We're still ways away from honey production, but it's time to get into the bees really and see what's going on, and do they need more room, or what are their needs? As you know, that I've adopted a single hive management where for my 10 frame boxes I like a single 10 frame box, but that doesn't mean that when they need room I don't give them an extra box, and then I will peel off a split later in the season at the end of May maybe, when the two boxes are full of brood and cap brood, and then create some extra bees, and then the single box will be ready for the honey flow. This way I keep them out of danger of ending up in the trees. I've never really had a big problem with early swarming doing it this way. Late swarming, yes, I have had quite a few swarms hit the trees after I pull my honey supers and I drive all the bees down. That's why I kind of adopted that shook swarm, pulling off excess bees and giving them to maybe some of my nucleus colonies that need a boost of bees to go into fall. But for right now, what I'm doing, this hive, if you remember maybe a video or two ago, it had 4.5 frames of bees, and 3 of those frames were fully capped with brood, but there was no eggs at all in the box, so they had shut down. It was a little colder and whatnot, so they did shut down. I checked it about a week later, and those bees had hatched, and they expanded from the 4.5 frames into almost fully 8 frames of bees. I'm not sure if they're drawing any comb. They did have some brood comb up in the feeder shim that I did, but I don't know if they're actually building comb on the foundation itself. But we're gonna go take a look and see what this hive needs. I'm still debating if this hive is gonna be my cell builder. It might just be a viable hive for honey production. I have a hive over there identified for as a breeder queen. I have another hive over at the farm I've identified as a breeder queen. But it doesn't mean that I can't do both as far as breeder queens are concerned. I can still get honey off of them. It's just that I don't want multiple boxes on there. I want ease of pulling frames out and getting to my right age brood to graft from. So, but this one I think will be a cell builder, might be a cell builder. I'll have to see. I have a nucleus colony that I don't know if it's really expanding as much as I would like, and that I might end up turning into my cell builder colony. So we'll just have to see. Today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm assessing my apiary. I'm here at the home apiary, and then I got to go to the farm, and then I got to go to the nuke yard. And I might end up peeling some resources off a couple of these hives and giving them to some of my new nukes that I had created, where I had a little bit of drift and they only have like 1.5 frames of bees. Give them a frame of brood, and that queen will be able to just take off, and then they'll be able to create resources even quicker for me for building mating nukes and nucleus colonies in the future. So let's see what we got in here. It's supposed to get up to 78 degrees today, but one of the weather forecasts they don't really specify is what the wind condition is like, and it's really windy today, which is gonna really upset the bees. I'm almost positive getting into this hive. So we'll just have to see how the bees react to the wind, but somewhere around 17 to 20 mile an hour winds. I got no choice. These are the only 2 days I have off, so we'll just have to see. The bees aren't really taking down syrup from my buckets too readily. For whatever reason, they do like the open feeder. For whatever reason, they're in there that heavy in all my yards, but the buckets, they're just, I don't know what it is. They're just not taking it down. It's the same syrup, so you know, it is what it is. Let's see what's going on. Opening up from your vantage point. Oh yeah, they've moved into the 9th frame, or the 8th frame there, which is good. And they totally taking care of this pollen patty. This is last year's recipe, not this year's recipe. I haven't had really good luck with the new recipe, and it might be that adding the honey to it changed something. I'm not sure, but they've really gone after this last year's recipe. So I think I'm gonna go back to that, to be honest with you. I'm still gonna use the bags, just gonna in my brood minder. Well, let's see what's what. And just in case, I'm going to put on my hood. Still see some drone brood in there, so that's good. Now, these frames were not drawn out last time. I shouldn't say drawn out. They weren't. The bees weren't in them. But now they have. They were about to here, and they hadn't moved into these 4 frames here. Now they actually have. So just got to see what the bees are up to here. Storing some nectar, syrup. Looks like nothing too extreme, not much on that one. Okay, good. I'm gonna have to switch glasses here. The bees are really calm. I don't see anything in here. So that's 2 frames with just nectar in it and nothing much else. This is a pollen frame. She has just been in here laying this one up. This has eggs in all the cells. So that's all laid up. I may have some time with this one. I was thinking I might have to put on some room on this one, but if we don't have any cap brood, they're not going to expand anytime soon. At least in the next 10 days. This is some cap brood here. Larvae, nectar, pollen, cap larvae anywhere where they could put pollen. They did put pollen. And that's a big cap brood right there. Big frame of cap brood, so that's one. And she has it laid up to the outside. So there's one frame of cap brood. Nice calm colony. This is one of my grafted 48-hour cell queens from last year. There's another capped frame of cap brood. At least on this side, oh, that's all laid up. Every cell that she could lay in, she did lay in. Larvae all built up. So I got a frame and a half of cap brood. Okay. For a windy day, these sure are nice and quiet. There's a frame of cap brood. That's capped. Good. Whew. Man, is it windy out. Man, oh man, oh man. Ugh. Got 2.5 frames of cap brood here. Here's another frame of cap brood. Boy, this is one of those, it's right there on the edge. You know, should I give it some extra room? You know, I'm here now, but at least it's in my home yard and I can slap I'll slap a it's 3.5 frames. Oof. And this is all honey and nectar. I did not see my queen, but I did see my dog take off again. I don't think I need room on here right this second, but I probably will need room in a few days or a week at least. It's not ready to swarm, not even close. We don't have a ton of drone brood in here, so that's good. Okay, so I will put brood minder back on here. I'm going to do something different than the bucket. Okay. Put this back on. I don't think I need the another pollen patty because they're getting plenty of pollen now. I have a little bit of time with this one. Okay. Good, good. All right. Let's go over here and take a look at one of my hives. Okay, let's take a look here. I took the foil off of this hive and they went a little crazy reorienting to the new visual because the foil, the reflectix is now gone. So it's now they're orienting to a white hive. Kind of fun to watch that. This hive, if you remember, this was my first hive inspection of 2021 and it was full, 10 frames full, and I put I think 6 frames of comb and 4 frames of foundation on it over the top of it 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago today, I believe. And I remember looking in the second day and they had moved into the six frames of comb overnight. So I want to see how this hive is progressing. Again, another hive that isn't really taking down any syrup. Not too much anyways. But surprisingly, they're going after the open feed, which again is just something that just perplexes the heck out of me. I'm expecting these hives to be a little jumpy today with the wind, but first hive wasn't so bad. Stay here, buddy. Well, let's see what we got. I have what looks like one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames of bees here out of the 10 frames I gave them. I gave them 2 frames of foundation here. I know I put honey on the outside here, and I put the 2 frames of foundation in the middle and 2 frames of foundation over here. I doubt that they've started drawing that new foundation out yet, but I just want to see where they're at up here. So let's take a look and see where what they're doing. Just going to give myself a little bit of room here and take this frame out. Can't remember what this frame was. Partially drawn, I believe. They're on it, but these are old queen cells right here. Actually, I should probably take those off so I don't fool myself. Thinking that they swarmed. This is just some drone comb I threw in there. Foundationless. They're not drawing any comb. It doesn't look like. This is brand new comb I put in. Nothing on it. Nothing. Oh, they're starting to draw it out just a little bit on this one. So, good news is I don't have to rush on this one, doesn't look like, as far as whether they're gonna swarm on me or not. They've got plenty of room up above here. They're in this one installing nectar around the edges, and they've cleared out the middle, and there's eggs laid, so the queen has been in here already up top. It's all full of eggs. No larvae here. All full of eggs on this side as well. Like I said, they've rimmed this with sugar syrup, or honey, nectar, and then all in the middle is all laid up with eggs. So she has been in here either yesterday or the day before, laying it up, I'm sure. So I'd expect to see her either on this frame or the next one. So again, this was 2 weeks ago that I put this box on top here, and yeah, that's completely capped. And I see it's completely capped. There's a queen cell here. Looks like a couple queen cups. Just saw a bee in there. Nothing in that one. Nothing in that one. Good, good. So that's a cap frame up top, so that's good. This is a cap frame up top. Another good one. Ooh. This is half capped, half larvae right here. I have not seen the queen. Again, all capped, larvae on the outside. Let's see if there's eggs way out there. Yep, eggs way out. Another good one. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So what I think I'm gonna do, and then let's check this one out. See what's going on the last frame here. Very calm bees for 17-mile-an-hour winds. This is all syrup. All syrup. So I think I'm going to peel off a couple frames of bees here and cap brood and give it to a couple of colonies that I have. This colony is doing really well, but it's going to explode here, and I need a little bit of time before I do my cell builders and all that kind of stuff. So this is good. Okay. So I got a carry with me here, and I'm going to peel off a couple of cap frames of bees and brood from this colony, but I need to this is fully capped and it's got some open larvae, but I can't take the queen with, so I have to really scan hard here, make sure she's not on this frame, because I could be in big trouble if that were to happen. Nice calm colony. I mean, I love this colony. So I'm going to take this frame and I think I'm going to take this frame all cap brood. Rarely will you see the queen on an all cap brood frame. I don't see the queen on here, so that's good. Okay. We're gonna take a frame of foundation here. Actually, I'm gonna move this over. That frame of foundation there. And one more frame of foundation here. What did I do with it? This one will be just fine. And then we have that and that. And this. Okay, so now what I do, because this is a transport, I have frames of foundationless that I stick alongside to fill in the gaps so my frames don't jostle around too much. And I do that because the bees won't congregate on these, they'll stay on the comb. If I were to put just empty comb or foundation, then I'd have bees on the foundation, I have to shake it off. This is just an easier way to transport it for now. And as I add more frames of foundation or frames of bees and brood to take over to the other apiary, I can just peel one of those frames out. Okay, and there we go. And then this one has a vented front. Keep the bees nice and cool, but I'll still put it in the shade for now. Okay. But this hive is in no danger of swarming. Lots of bees still. Queen can move up and lay in that new comb that I just gave them. The bees will work it really quick. They'll move into that really quick. So good.